What's going on, guys? John Elder here from codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to modify the admin section for our app with Django and Python. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to do all kinds of cool things with our admin area. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to that channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off memberships, all my courses, videos, and books. For one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. Okay, like I said, in this video, we're going to do all kinds of cool stuff to the Django admin section. We're going to add this thing to where we can filter by different things, date, by venue. We're going to change it to where there's a search bar on here and we can search different things. We're going to change how this looks. So these columns are different than the default. You may not notice because you probably don't remember what the default is, but we've added an address field and the contact phone number. And we're going to do all kinds of things. We're going to change our model so that for an event, only somebody who's an administrative user can be the manager. Remember down here, we're going to change the way these pages look. You probably can't tell just by glancing at it, but I changed this quite a bit. And that's basically what we're going to do with this video. So this is the Django admin area. This is the back end, right? So we're still going to build out the app on the website. So we'll be able to do all these things on the website, but you also might just not want that. You might just want to use the Django admin area. And if you do, you may want to modify it to suit your specific needs. And that's really what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. So if you haven't yet, head over to the Django admin area and go ahead and log in. We set up the admin super user way back at the beginning of this series. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that. And the first thing I want to point out is, let's click on venues and let's click on one of these things. Notice how each of these things are in bold. So if we come back here and try to add a new venue, and then we just type something and then click save, we get a bunch of errors. These fields are all required, right? That's what these bold things mean. It means this is all required. Well, maybe you want that, maybe you don't. Maybe we just want the venue name, the address, and the zip code to be required where it's at, because maybe a venue doesn't have a contact phone, or maybe they don't have a website address, or maybe they have a website address and a phone, but no email, or maybe they have an email and no phone. So maybe we don't need to have these last few things required. So how do we change this to where we can make a thing required or not? Well, pretty simple. So head over to our events directory and in our models.py and come down here to venue. Now these three things we want to make not required. So if we come to the end of here, we can just go blank equals true. So this is saying, hey, if it's blank, it's okay. So we can add this one to that one and add it to that one as well. So go ahead and save this. Now this is a major change to the model, which means we need to make a migration and push the migration. Anytime we make a change to the model itself like that, we need to do that. So let's head over to our terminal, Control C to break out of here. And to do this, we just go Python, manage.py, make migrations. We've done this before. And you can see it figured out we made these three changes. So now we can go Python, manage.py, migrate to push the migration. Okay, that works. So now let's go Python manage.py, run server to run our server again. And let's head back over here and see if that worked. We can hit reload, go to venue. Now, if we click add venue, you'll notice that these three things aren't in bold anymore. They're no longer required, right? So if we wanted to add a new thing, we could make this downtown Vegas nightclub. The address is 111 Vegas Avenue. Zip code is 89137. And we leave these all blank. We click save. It works just fine. We click this. They don't have anything in them. Now we can put something if we want, right? But we don't have to. Come back. There it is. So, okay, that's interesting and that's pretty useful. But we haven't really changed the admin area. How do we do that? Well, here we're in the venue section. And let's say we want to add a search bar on top and we want to add some other columns in here with other information. For instance, maybe the name, which is here. Maybe we also want the address and the phone number listed, if there is one. So how do we add those things to this page? Well, pretty easy actually. We head back over to our code here and we want admin.py. Remember, this is where we registered our things. So first thing I'm going to do is comment this out because we're going to change this. Now, there's a couple of ways I'll show you to do this, but I'm going to use the one where we comment this out. So here, we can come down here and we can go at admin.register. We want to pass venue. So we're sort of replacing this with this. It's just a better way to do it. And I'll show you why in a second. Now let's create a class, and we're going to call this venue admin. And this inherits admin.model admin. So this is a class. Now inside of here, we can set a list display, right? And this will list the things that are on this main page here. So if we want to add columns, we can do that right there. So let's add, we want name, we also want address, and let's also go phone, right? So where am I getting these? These come straight from the model. So we're in our venue model. We can head over to our models.py file, venue, I'm calling name, address, and phone, right? You can do any of these that you want, but I just want those three. So, okay, that looks good, name, address, and phone. What else can we do? Well, we can change the ordering. So let me put ordering and set that equal to name. And now this is a tuple, and we need to put a comma there. If you leave the comma out, you'll get an error. Well, what will this do? This will order these in alphabetical order based on the name. So here we see C, City Park, and A, this will be first, C will be second, D will be third, and L will be fourth, right? We could change that to the reverse by simply putting a negative in front of name. So then it would be Z first instead of A first, and it'll be opposite. But I just want alphabetical, so that looks good there. So, okay, what else can we do? Well, we want to add a search box, right? So we can put search underscore fields. And what do we want to be able to search by? Name and let's say address. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. Head back over here and hit reload, and boom. Now this was a change to our admin file. We didn't actually change the model, so we don't have to make a migration. We don't have to push the migration. It just works. We just have to come back over here and hit reload, and you notice there's a search bar. So if I type city and click search, City Park shows up, right? Now I can click here to go back, or if we do this again, if I type sit, we can also just search for blank to get everything as well to go back. So if I type area, search area 41. So very cool. We've got our search bar up there. That's interesting. You'll also notice we now have these two columns listed, the address column and the contact column. So if at a glance you just want to see other information without having to click on this, you can add it right there. And you can add as many things as you want. You can add all of the fields if you really want to, right? Zip code, contact phone, address, and email address. It's going to get a little cluttered, but you can add as many as you want. And here you can sort of filter around. Pretty cool. And just that easy. So, all right, what else do we want to do? Well, let's see. We've got our events. Now, I've got a couple of events here. And if we look at here, the manager, I put Mr. John City Park. And maybe you want just anyone to be able to be a manager. I think maybe no. I think you have to be an admin user of the website to be a manager, like me. I'm the admin. When we log into our Django admin area, if we log out, we log back in again, our username is admin, we log in. I want only people that have administrative credentials to be able to be managers. So how can I do that? Well, before we do that, we need to delete all of the events that we have so far, because we're going to make a major change to our events model. And so if we don't delete these, everything will be out of sync. So don't move forward until you delete these things. We can add them back in. There's only two later. So let's go ahead and delete them. Are we sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so if we click on venues, come back to events, there's no events. So let's head back over to our code and let's head over to our models.py file. And up here, we want to start using the user authentication system, the thing that logs us into the admin area. So to do that, we need to import it. So let's go from django.contrib.auth.models. We want to import user. So user is not one of these things. This is built into Django. This is the Django user that we set up when we set up our super user, right? That comes from django.contrib.auth.models. So now we can use that in here. So let's come down to our events and find the manager. And this is what we used to have, just a car field and a max length, right? So instead of that, let's change all of this to a foreign key. So models.foreign key, right? What do we want to sort of connect this to user, which is this guy right here, right? So we want user. We also want blank equals to true, because maybe we don't have to have a manager. But if so, we could do the blank equals true thing. We also want null to equal true, right? And then on underscore delete, let's go models.set underscore null. So what this means is if a manager is the manager of several events, right? Or even just one event, and then that manager deletes his profile, leaves the website, what happens to all of those events where he was a manager? Well, we don't want to delete them. We just want to set the manager field to null. It's basically saying there's no manager anymore. He left, he quit, he's gone. She's no longer on the site, whatever. So if that manager leaves, that just changes all the events that they were managing to null. So, okay, that looks good. So manager, foreign keys, blank equals true, set to null. Okay, I think that looks good. So now let's go ahead and save this. And now we need to make a migration because this is an actual change to our model. So let's head back over to the terminal, Control C to break out of this again. And again, let's just go Python manage.py and let's go make migrations. And you can see we added a field to manager on event. And then let's go Python manage.py migrate. And let's run our server again, see if that change made anything. So Python manage.py run server. And let's head back over to the website, hit reload. Now when we click on events, if we want to add an event, the manager no longer has a field, right? It just has a dropdown. And you could say, well, there's only one user on this website, admin, right now. We could add more, but there's only one, so we could click that. So, okay, that looks good. So before we start adding new events, I want to change this around a little bit. I want to group some things up here, like the event name and the venue. I want them right next to each other, followed by just the event date, and then maybe just the description and the manager. I don't know, whatever we want. We just want to play around with this. So let's head back over to our code and make sure you've still deleted all of the events. Don't add any events up until now. Now, before we do that though, I used this sort of constructor guy and I commented this out. We've created this venue admin. You could, instead of doing it like that, you could just add that like that. But then you have to move this down below your class, right? And things get a little weird. So instead of doing it like that, let me just comment that out. I do it like this. You can do it either way, but I say just do it like this. So not terribly important, just a little thing that's sort of interesting. So let's come down here and let's make now an event one. So let's go at admin.register and then pass an event. And we want to come up here and comment this guy out. So let's go class, and this is going to be event admin. Notice this was venue admin. This is event admin because we're doing the venue model and the event model. And inside of here, again, we want to inherit from admin.model admin. So what do we want to do? Well, let's change the fields on that page. So at the very top, let's do another one. I want the name and the venue. I also then after that want the event underscore date. After that, I want the description. And then finally, I want the manager. Okay. Now we also want to list underscore display. And let's set that equal to the name, the event date, and the venue. Now let's also add a filter so that we can filter on the main page based on certain things. So we can go list underscore filter and set that equal to, let's filter by the event date and also filter by the venue. And finally, let's set the ordering. I'm going through these quick. We'll talk about them in a second. We could do by event underscore date, but let's go negative event date, right? We'll see what that does. So go ahead and save this, head back over here, and let's actually open another page so we can really see what this is looking like. And it looks like we're getting an error. I might have had a bug here. min value of ordering. It must be, oh, I forgot the comma. So when we did ordering up here, remember we had to put a comma because it's a tuple. Same thing here. We need a comma, boom, right there for our ordering. So, okay, go ahead and save this. Come back over here, hit reload. All right, so it pops right up. And you see we've got the filters here. We don't have any events yet, but we've got these filters. So that's really cool. Now, if we add an event, we've got a problem there too. Let's see, check fields, unknown fields. I must have a typo. Love the typos. Okay, so we've got fields, we've got name and venue, event date, manager. There we go. Okay, so save this one more time. All right, so now this is the old way. This is the new way. You'll notice we've got the name and venue right up next to each other. That's kind of cool. After that, we've got date. We have the date here. Below that, we've got the description. So we took out the venue and the admin thing. We just put the description. And then underneath that, we've got the manager. What we don't have at all are the attendees, right? There could be thousands of attendees, and I don't really care who's coming to this thing based on that. So I just leave that off. You could put it back if you wanted to, but you don't have to. And in this video, I'm just showing you how to add and remove things and modify it however you want. So very cool. So let's create an event. So let's go Alien Parade. That is going to be at the venue of Area 41. The date is going to be there. The time is going to be at noon. Join us for an alien parade. All right, the manager is me. So we save that. All right. Let's add another quick one here. Let's see, softball at the park. The venue is the city park. The date is today. Or way in April. Time is at midnight. All right. Let's play softball at midnight. I don't know. Admin, go ahead and save. So we've got a couple here. Let's do one more. Let's go charity basketball tournament. I don't know. The venue is going to be, let's see, Las Vegas High School Gym. The date is today. The time is 6 p.m. There we go. Let's play basketball and raise some money for the children. And the manager, again, is me. Or we don't need a manager. Go ahead and save it. Okay, so now we've got several of these things. If we come back here and we want to filter by any date, let's say we only want today. Well, that one's the charity basketball tournament. Let's say only this month, these two things. This whole year, all three things. We can go by venue. What's going on at Area 41? Well, the area parade. What's going on at the city park? The softball thing. What's going on at the downtown Vegas nightclub? Nothing. There's no events right now. So very cool way to filter, and we can clear all the filters. Awesome. So we've added filters. We have changed the look of this page by removing some things and rearranging other things. This venue is now right up here when it used to be down here. A little change, but still pretty cool. We've removed things completely. The attendees, we don't even have them in there anymore, right? We've also changed our model to where only people with actual administrative accounts can be managers. That's kind of cool. We've also changed our venue page. We added some columns here. Oh, and we added the dates and the venue to our events. So we've got the name, event date, and venue, which corresponds to, let's see, right here, list display, name, event, and venue, right? Very cool. So if you're curious, the list display, that changes things that are on the sort of the main page, right? So this page right here, that's the list display. And when you click on one of these and go in and change this stuff, that is fields, right? So that's in the actual page itself, in the actual edit page, right? And then this ordering by negative event date. If we come back here and go to events, let's see, the event date is listed. This is in April, this is the end of February, and this is today. So these are in negative event order. So the longest one out is listed first. We could change that. If we want the most current one listed first, we could do positive event date. If we come back here and hit reload, now the one today is listed first, right? Very cool and just that easy. So you could really play around with this, modify this however you want. We've added some filters. That's helpful. We've changed the way these things are arranged. That's helpful. We've changed completely some of the model by having the manager be an admin user. So just whatever you like, you have a lot of control over Django. You just sort of need to know how to do it. And this is a pretty good first step in learning all that stuff. So that's all for this video. If you'd like to, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to that channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off memberships. They pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 100,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.